Okay, there you go. Well, according to the coordinator, well, the deadline, based on the school guidelines, you should submit the final project on or before May 9. Okay, that's what's in the guidelines, no? And according to the coordinator, you have options naman, no? If you think the deadline is too short, meaning the deadline on May 9 is too short, you have the option not to submit the final exam, final project, and uh, based on the guidelines, you will be receiving a grade of deferred, and then you will just get or you will just take again uh, the final exam, final project until next term, no, or within 1 year. That's your option. Or if you will uh but don't there's some concern that maybe though uh giving grades with regards to the project. So I'm not naman uh going to check yung final exam project in a detailed manner, no. So I will be lenient in checking I know naman you're not really an accounting student, no, or BSA student, no. So uh I in checking this project, I'm more on the effort of the student, not really the exact output of the project. So don't worry if there are some concerns that uh I will be expecting that the correct output, mean the actual answers, the actual numbers are correct. But I'm more on the output. I'm more on the effort of the student. So don't worry about those concern. And then another concern is about um you're not familiar with the Excel, no? Excel software or Excel app. So there's also option wherein you can submit, like you can answer in worksheet. So if you're not familiar with the Excel, or you can answer in worksheet and just try to maybe take a photocopy of that or scan that particular worksheet, and then just upload it to uh, Canvas or send it to my email. Okay. So any other concern that I miss about the final exam, final project? Okay. No, it's now the time not to ask for concerns, because I can answer it already. So uh, don't be hesitant to ask for clarification. Well, it's a long problem. It's related to what I'm discussing, no? It's exactly the same wherein you're going to okay, prepare uh, accounting records. Okay, you're going to book um, some transactions, prepare a ledger, then prepare financial statements. Okay, you prepare adjusting entries, and okay, prepare post closing trial balance, prepare closing entries, and reversing entries. Don't worry, you can still, if ever you have a question regards to project, you can always ask me. Okay, you can always text me. Okay? Uh, you can email me. Okay, so I'm always here to for consultation. No? Okay, so waiting for your clarification. So will the final exam be similar to previous exams? No, like I've said, it's not multiple choice. Okay. Uh, it's like what we're discussing, no? I don't know if you you see already the recorded version of last week discussion wherein I discuss yung accounting cycle, no? So basically, it will be the same as to your final exam. Okay, so I'm probably I should start discussing the final exam project, no? So just again just send a message or speak at the mic. So if you want to ask for clarification. Okay, so here according to the coordinator, so the class will be divided into. So I don't know how if you're convened or if you are it is convenient to you to have 5 students per group if you want more students, no, per group. So but that's the general guidelines, to 5 students per group. But if you want higher students per group, that's fine with me. So we just need to set the parameters now, no. So generally it's 5 students per group, so you will form 5 members. Okay, so with the designated group leader and members, the group leaders enjoined to see to it that everyone in the group actively participates in the discussion and decision making, because all numbers of points given to the whole group will also be the number of points to be given to each member. Okay, so is it fine with you to have only 5 students per group, or you want higher? Because I remember you have already formed your groups, no? I remember you have 4 groups, no? At least 10, 9 to 10 members per group. So I don't know if you want to retain that group is, or you want. I don't know if it's for you. It's too big, no? To have 10 members, no? So we'll start with 5 members per group. So I don't know what's your okay. What will be your okay, choice? Okay. Any reaction with 5 students per group? Is it too okay? Any no okay? Is there any violent reaction with regards to 5 students per group? Is it okay or masyado siyang konti? Do you want higher number of okay? students per group. Okay, so I think 5 is good for now. Okay. All right. So if you're okay with the 5 okay students, so it's up to you na, no? So do you want me ba to randomly select your group members, or you want to pick your own okay group members? Uh, because if you already okay with 5 students per group, just send me your okay group members now, so I will know, okay, if you have, okay, come up with a group already, so I can okay, assemble those who do not have a group yet, no? Okay. So, by the way, if you opt pala to ano 'no, to not to submit the final exam project, so the so if you're going to defer, okay, so I will give you a deferred grade. So, the requirement, you still submit this kind of okay, project, no? Okay. So, next term, so this the same project din yung gagawin natin. So, the following. The difference lang is, of course, uh, limited na yung magiging access, okay? Kasi of course we have different classes na, no? So more on consultation lang yung mangyayari, right? So again, the output for the group business case shall follow closely the additional instructions below. Um, Submit only one Excel file. So if you want to okay, follow this instruction, so if you're familiar with Excel, so you can do this instruction, no? So yung tab 1 or sheet 1, okay? So more journalizing, okay? I will give to you the format that I am using, okay? During for the discussion, no? So you can use this, okay, as a guide, okay? And sheet 2 will be solution to journal entries. Okay, tab 3, functional form, or okay, yung financial statements. Huh? Tab 4, financial statements. So this one, I will already remove this, so the notes to financial statements, because it's too tedious, no, to prepare financial statements. So I will remove this one. Don't worry, I will show you yung final okay, output ng project natin, no, o final requirements, no? And then tab 6, closing entries and post-closing trial balance. So again, if you're not familiar, you can submit it in a worksheet. Okay, just submit a soft copy of it through Canvas, or okay, if you want, you can uh, send it to my email. Okay, so important reminders. So the output of all the groups consisting of a group business case, okay, should be submitted to me, okay, on or before May 9, okay, through Canvas or email only. Okay. So for record purposes, may I request the group leaders to inform me of any group member who is unable to participate in the group discussion or decision making, stating the reasons why the particular member was unable to participate. Okay. So any question with regards to the okay requirement? right? Any questions? Okay, you can ask now. Okay, for clarification. So if you're shy to ask your clarification, there's a I think there's a way here wherein you can share personal chat with me. Okay, so by not going to the public chat, no. Okay. Okay, no more question or clarification. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, the discussion regarding the accounting cycle. So I'm going to finish the discussion. Okay. Oh, there's a question here. Okay. So while you're writing your questions, I'm going to finish now. I don't know if I can finish it until 9 o'clock. No? So if you have other class, okay, to attend to, okay, you are free to go no at 9 o'clock. No? So don't worry, it's recorded naman. So you can just access the okay, recording. Okay. So I just want to finish the discussion today. So I can already you can start the preparation of your final project tonight or tomorrow morning. So you don't need to wait until Thursday. No? Yes, just to clarify po, the final exam are merged into this. Yes, that's correct. No, so I don't know how to term it lang. So um, kasi it's not naman like an exam wherein you going to answer like in a multiple choice or okay, or in a theory type of exam. So that's why I term it like a final exam or final project. But it's the one. It's one, no? It's the same. Okay. Okay. So what I'm saying is I will be going to finish the discussion today. So that you can start preparing the project, no, or the final output. Okay. Uh, so if you have class up at to 9 o'clock, you're free to go, no. So um, don't worry, it's recorded naman. Okay. So you will not miss anything. Okay. Alright. So that's all. And also, no, so like I've said, you can always okay send me a message if you have question with regards to the project. I can always explain to you, or I can always I'm always be here to guide you in preparing for the okay, your final project. So don't hesitate to raise your concern. So to okay. ask question with regards to the project. Okay. Okay. Can you see this screen? Okay. Can you see the Excel screen? All right. Okay. Okay. So last time, so like I said, last time, so sabi ko nga, it's the same. Okay. Parehas na parehas yung project, though, with regards to what I'm discussing. No? So last time I gave you okay this problem. Okay. So I asked you to record. Okay. So let's just move it here. Okay. I asked you to okay, prepare, okay, or to journalize transactions that was evident in this okay problem. So you have here, okay, the books of accounts. So you have your cash receipt book, cash disbursement book. Okay, so you have here your purchase book and your sales book. Okay, and also the general journal book. So those are again the books of accounts, okay, of a typical okay business. So I ask you to record, okay, the following transactions, okay, to the okay, different books. So here, so purchase of delivery equipment, okay, amounting to. Pero if you have questions, so I can't see kasi yung main screen. So if you have questions, so just if you have a mic, no, so just raise it to the mic. Kasi cannot see it kasi I can see only yung screen ko, no? So if you have questions, so just say it to the mic so I can already clarify your question with regards to this. Okay. So again, so for example, the first transaction, okay, so purchase of delivery equipment amounting to 800,000 cash. So where do we going to okay record that? So since there's a cash involvement, okay, so and it is okay purchase transaction, there's a cash outflow, no. So basically, based on our lecture, it should be recorded on the cash disbursement book. So here, just okay again, write the date. Okay, so this is the date. Okay, and try to book the entry. So debit, okay, delivery equipment, okay, for the item that you purchased, okay, and credit cash, okay, for the outflow of the cash. So you have here debit 800,000, and you have here credit, okay, also 800,000. Okay, so just copy, okay, the remarks, or you can simplify the remarks like purchase of delivery equipment. So you don't need to copy the whole okay description here. But again, it's up to you how you're going to describe the okay transaction. Right. Next is okay transaction. The company was granted with a loan amounting to 500,000. Okay. So here, okay, it's not okay cash outflow, no, but it's cash inflow. Okay. So if it's a cash inflow, so and there's a cash involvement, so you have to book that in the cash receipt book. Okay. So just copy again the date. Okay. So this is the date here. Okay. And then okay, so book now you because you're going to receive cash, so you're going to debit now cash. okay, 500,000. And then since you will incur a liability, so again, you will credit loans payable, okay, 500,000. Okay, and just again, okay, copy the okay, remarks or the description. Okay, next, copy, okay, the company sold on goods to their customers. No? So since there's no cash, okay, involved here, so you're going to record this on the sales. Oh, sorry, meron palang cash, no? So, okay, the customer pays, okay, on cash, no? Using cash. So, since there's a cash involvement here, so again, you need to record that on the cash receipt book. Okay? So you have okay date here, just copy the date. So March 23. Okay, and then okay, you record now since again you need will risk the company will receive cash of 900,000. So you will debit cash 900,000 and then you credit sales, okay, because the company generates okay sales okay, to their customer, so you credit sales and again just copy the description. Okay, on April 28th, okay, the company sold goods to their customers 600,000 on account. So since there's no cash involvement, okay, you can okay directly record that okay in the sales book. Okay, so just copy again, right? The date, okay, April okay, 28, right? So debit accounts receivable, okay, 600,000, okay, and okay, again you generate sales, okay, 600,000, okay, and May 14. Okay, so company purchase goods from their supplier, 400,000 cash. Okay. So since there's a cash involvement and it's outflow of cash, okay, so you record that in a cash disbursement book. Okay. So again, just write the date. Okay, so May 14. Oh, sorry. So May 14. So this one, May 14. So and you need to record purchases, debit purchases, okay, 400,000, and you need to credit cash, okay, 400,000. And again, just copy the okay information. Okay. On June 25, the company purchased goods from the supplier, okay, 400,000 on account. Okay, so here there's no cash involved, so there's no cash disbursement involved. Okay, there's no cash outflow involved, so you're going to record here since it is on account. You go directly to purchase book. Okay, so just again write the date. Okay, June 25, right? So debit purchases, okay, and credit accounts payable. Okay. So I'm just checking if you have asked question. So debit purchases of 400,000 and credit accounts payable 400,000. And write again the description, okay, 400,000. Okay. So last, okay, company paid the following expenses, okay, during the year. So rent expense 5,000, utilities expense 4,000, salaries expense 20,000. So again, here there's a cash outflow, no? So you're going to record this on the cash disbursement book. So just record the date, okay, July 25, okay. So you have your rent expense, utilities expense, salaries expense, so debit all the transactions. So 5,000 rent expense, utilities expense 4,000, and salaries expense 20,000. Okay? So credit cash, okay, of 29,000. Okay? So just again book the description. Okay? So company paid the following, okay, expenses, right? So you're done recording the, okay, transaction. So next step will be to post this to the general ledger. Okay. So if in posting the general ledger, so like what I mentioned last week, so first, okay, uh, check if there's some beginning balances, no? So in general ledger, again, okay, you need to create a separate ledger for each account, no? So for example, here cash, okay, so we have separate ledger for cash, for accounts receivable, for allowance for doubtful accounts, as well as, okay, your income statement account. No, you need also to, okay, create ledger, okay, for your income statement account. So for example, here you have sales, you have your purchases, you have your interest income, insurance expense, interest expense, rent expense, utilities. Okay, so in recording again for your ledger, okay, you start with the beginning balance, no? So where will you get the beginning balance, no? So normally, okay, the beginning balance pertains only to balance sheet accounts, no, not on income statement accounts. Okay, because balance sheet accounts are the one being carried over, no, or carry forward the following year. So here in our okay discussion, okay, we have your beginning balances, no? So here, example, no? So you have your cash, accounts receivable, notes receivable, inventory, prepaid insurance expense, no? So these are beginning balances. So this one needs to be, okay, put on the ledger, okay? So here, for example, okay, so beginning balance, okay, of the cash, okay, 443,000. So it's from here, no? Okay, so you have account receivable, also beginning balance of 15,000. So, okay, just go to the accounts receivable ledger. Okay, so, right, so write 15,000 on, okay, the beginning balance. So you have your inventory of 25,000. Okay, so again, go to, okay, the ledger. Okay, notes receivable. Okay, yeah, it's a beginning balance of 25,000. Okay. Then you have inventory, okay, beginning balance of 20,000. So go to inventory. There you go, beginning balance of 20,000. The prepaid insurance expense 5,000. So go to the ledger of prepaid insurance expense. So type the beginning balance of 5,000. Okay. Accounts payable, right? So 8,000. Okay. So okay, go to a ledger. Okay, look for accounts payable. Okay, accounts payable. So there you go. So beginning balance 8,000. Okay, so you have capital 500,000. So go to ledger of capital. Okay, so beginning balance of 500,000. Okay, so that's all for the beginning balances, right? So you can now record or post, okay, the transactions here in the ledger from, okay, your different books, no? So you start with the, okay, cash receipt book, no? So you start with cash, okay? So there's a transaction here where you debit cash, no? So go to the ledger, right? So look for the cash ledger. right? So here, you said here that you debited cash on February 24 amounting to 500,000. So in the ledger, so you write the date, okay? Write the description, okay? So, sorry. So it's what's, okay, just copy this description to your ledger, okay? And since you said that you're debiting 500,000, so you put here 500,000 on the debit. So the balance now is 443. Since the normal balance of cash is debit, so you just add here, okay, 443 plus 500, so you have your 943,000, okay, balance of cash after this transaction, okay. And then you have credit of loans payable, okay. So go to now ledger and look for loans payable, okay, ledger, okay. There's loans payable. Oops, sorry. Okay, there you go. So again, book the transaction, write the date, February 24, write the description. Okay, right here in PR, okay, it's a reference. Okay, write the books where this transaction came from, no? So in this case, it's cash receipt book. CRB means cash receipt book. Okay. So here, okay, so in the cash receipt book, you credit, okay, loans payable, no? So in the ledger, you also record that on the credit portion. Since there's no beginning balance for loans payable, so your balance is after this transaction is 500,000 for loans payable. Okay. Next is on March 23, there's another transaction for cash receipt book. So you have again, okay, you debit cash and you credit sales. So again, go to cash ledger. Okay, go back to the cash ledger. Okay, so in March 23, again you book sale. Okay, okay, so 900,000. Okay, 900,000. Okay, so here you debit cash 900,000. Okay, so in the ledger you put the date, the description. Okay, since you again debiting cash, so put it on the debit column. So far as of March 23, the balance of your cash is 1.8 million. Okay. So again, you another transaction is you credited sales here. Okay, so go to, okay, the ledger, look for sales. Okay, this is the sales. So March 23. Okay, you put the description. Okay, and then, okay, since you credited that 900,000. Okay, so credit sales here in the cash receipt book. So in the ledger, okay, credit 900,000, write the reference CRB or cash receipt book. So the balance of your sales, okay, after the transaction is 900,000. Okay. So we're done with the cash receipt book. So we go now to the cash disbursement book. Okay. So again, the same concept as what you applied in the cash receipt book. So, okay, you go. First transaction is purchase of delivery equipment. So the first entry was delivery equipment. Okay, so again, go to your ledger. Okay, so go to your ledger. Okay, look for the delivery equipment account. Okay, so there you go, delivery equipment. Okay, so write the date. Okay, so from the cash disbursement book, so February 1, so write February 1 here, write the description. Okay, write, okay, the reference, so where, okay, what book it came from. So here, cash disbursement book. So right here on the ledger, cash or CDV, no? Okay. And since you, okay, in a cash disbursement book, you debited delivery equipment for 800,000. So in the ledger, okay, you write your debit 800,000. So the balance after that transaction, okay, for the delivery equipment is 800,000. Okay, and then you credit cash again here for 800,000. So go back to, okay, the cash again. Since there's a transaction related to cash. Okay, so here February 1, write the date, write the description. Okay, since we said that you debited something to cash, okay, amounting to 800,000. So credit cash of 800,000. So the balance now, okay, of your cash after the transaction is 1,043,000, no? Since the normal balance of cash is debit and you're crediting cash, so that will be a deduction to the balance of cash. Okay, so after this transaction, the balance of cash is now 1,043,000. Okay. All right. So okay. Next transaction on May 14. Okay. So here you have entry of purchases, now debit purchases. So in the ledger, okay, look for the purchases. Okay, ledger. So there you go. Purchases. So May 14. Okay, cash disbursement book. So just copy the date. Okay, May 14, okay, and the description, okay, of what book it came from. So cash disbursement book, CDB. So it says here you debit 400,000 for the purchases. Okay, so here in the purchases ledger, so write 400,000 in the column of debit, no, or in debit column. Okay, so the balance, okay, of your purchases after this transaction is 400,000. Okay. So, okay. So, another transaction in a cash disbursement is you credit cash, no? Okay, so 400,000. So again, go back to the cash ledger. So you have here purchase of okay, company purchase. Okay, so here May 14. Okay, there you go. There's a credit cash of 400,000. So in the ledger, just copy the date. Okay, copy the okay description, and okay, since you credit cash, no, so credit cash 400,000. Okay, the next transaction is the okay payment of different expenses. Okay, so look for, okay, since you debit rent expense here 5,000. Okay, so in the ledger, look for rent expense. Okay. There you go, rent expense. So write the date, July 25, copy the okay, description, okay, and okay, put the reference, anong book, so cash disbursement book. So you debit 5,000, okay. So there you go, 5,000. Okay, another is utilities expense. So go to the ledger, look for utilities expense. Oh, yeah, there you go, utilities expense. Okay, so there's a debit here. Okay, 4,000. So again, don't forget to copy the date, the description, okay, the books, okay, where it came from. So cash disbursement book, right? So utility expense 4,000. Okay, so the balance is 4,000. Okay, after that particular transaction. Okay, so salaries expense here 20,000. So go to the ledger, look for salaries expense. So again, write the date, okay, description, the books, and okay, debit 20,000. So when you go to the cash disbursement book, it's 20,000 salaries expense. Okay. So the balance of your salary expense account is 20,000 after this transaction. Okay, and then you credit cash for 29,000. So again, there's a transaction related to cash. So again, go back to your cash. Okay, so write the date, the description, and then again credit cash of 29,000. So after the transaction, you'll get the balance of cash. Right? So we're done with the cash disbursement book. Let's go now to the next book, which is the purchase book. Right? So purchase book, there's only one transaction that we're going to post. So go to purchases ledger again, since the you recorded here debit purchase. Okay, so go to again purchase ledger. Here you go, purchase ledger. So you write the date, the description, so June, we go to purchase book. So June 25, so June 25, write the description. So write the books. So that is purchase book. So in the purchase book, you debit 400,000. So in the ledger, you also debit 400,000. So after this transaction, the balance of purchases is 800,000. Okay, and then you need to record now accounts payable of 400,000. So in the ledger, look for accounts payable. Okay, so write the date. Okay, so here copy the date. Okay, copy the description. Okay, and then credit 400,000. Okay, since you credit accounts payable here 400,000, so in the ledger it should be 400,000. Okay, so the balance after this transaction for accounts payable is 408,000. Okay, go to the next book since you're done with the purchase book. Okay, so go to the next book, which is the sales book. Okay, so write the date. So that is April 28. Okay, so first entry is accounts receivable. So go to accounts receivable. Okay, ledger. So there you go, accounts receivable. Okay, so so you debit accounts receivable for 600,000. So in the ledger, copy the date, copy the description. Okay, so right here, source of the transaction. So right here, sales book or SB. Okay, so you have here debit 600,000 since you debit accounts receivable here. So the ledger 600,000 debit. So the balance of your accounts receivable is 615,000 since the normal balance of accounts receivable is debit. So 15 plus 600, 615,000. All right. So so next in the sales book is you need to credit sales, for 600,000. So again, go to your ledger of sales here. Okay, so transaction April 28. Okay, copy the description. Okay, write or input the book sales book. Okay, so you have here 600,000 credits. So from here, you write it here. So the balance of your sales after this transaction is, okay, so 900 to 600, it's 1.5 million. Okay, so now you're done, okay, with the initial okay transaction in your okay ledger. So after this, again, okay, you need to get the balance, no, of each of the accounts in the ledger. So here the balance of cash is after all the transaction that we posted is 614,000 for accounts receivable, 615,000 for allowance, still zero. Notes receivable balance is still 25,000. Receivable is zero. Okay, inventory, okay, balance is okay 20,000. Okay, for prepaid insurance expense, the balance is 5,000. For delivery equipment, the balance is 800,000. For accumulated depreciation, it's still zero. For accounts payable, it's 408,000. Salaries payable, okay, interest payable, still zero. Loans payable, the balance is 500,000. For capital, okay, the balance is still 500,000. Okay. Sales, the balance is 1.5 million. Okay, for purchases, the balance is 800,000. Okay, interest income zero, insurance expense zero, interest expense still zero, rent expense the balance is 5,000. Okay, utilities expense the balance is 4,000. Okay, for the salary expense the balance is 20,000. Doubtful accounts expense still zero, depreciation expense still zero. Okay, so you have already the balance of each account in the ledger. You can now prepare, or you can now go to the next step. Okay, preparation of the unadjusted trial balance. So in preparation of unadjusted trial balance, okay, so you have your, okay, put the name of the company, okay, the name of the report, trial balance, and the date, no? So just put it, okay, date of the report. So here on the first column, you have your account number, okay, for the account title, okay. So just put it here, account title, okay. And, okay, so we have a column for debit and a column for credit, okay. So in an adjusted trial balance, all you have to do is get, okay. So you have to, okay, you have to record, okay, or you have to input all the account title that you use, okay, for, okay, recording the transaction, okay. So in the ledger, so I told you to get the balance, no, okay. So here, cash, okay. So what's the balance of cash? Okay, so 614,000. So you're going to, okay, copy this balance to the unadjusted trial balance. So cash here, okay, 614,000. So again, where you get this balance, okay, you get it from your, okay, ledger, no? So the balance of cash, okay, 614,000. You again copy this to your unadjusted trial balance. So accounts receivable, get the balance of accounts receivable. So again, go back to your ledger. Okay. So you have here balance of accounts receivable 650,000, 615, sorry, 615,000. Allowance for doubtful accounts. Okay. So in the ledger, okay, it's still zero, no? The allowance for doubtful accounts. Okay. Notes receivable. Okay. So go to notes receivable. So the balance is 25,000. Okay. So write 25,000 here. Right. Interest receivable. Okay. So in the ledger, we'll go for interest receivable. So it's still zero, no? So in adjusted trial balance, okay, again, it's still zero. Inventory, so go to the ledger again, look for the, okay, balance of inventory. So the beginning balance is still your Okay, beginning or your ending balance. So inventory you have 20,000. So prepaid insurance expense. So in the ledger, look for prepaid insurance expense. So beginning balance of 5,000. Okay. Okay, look, go to delivery equipment. Okay. So purchase of delivery equipment. Okay. So we have balance of 800,000. So in the ledger, 800,000. Okay. So accounts payable, since again the normal balance of accounts payable is credit. Okay. So go to accounts payable. Okay. Oops, sorry. Accounts payable. Right. So accounts payable. Okay. 8,000. Okay, oh sorry, 408,000. Okay, credit balance for accounts payable. So in your adjusted, okay, trial balance of accounts payable of 408,000. Okay, go to your salaries payable. So in your ledger, okay, so salaries payable, it's zero. Okay, so right here zero. Okay, in your interest payable. Okay, so go to interest payable. Okay, the balance is zero. So adjusted trial balance, okay, zero. Okay, for loans payable, okay, go to your loans payable, right? So balance is 500,000. So credit loans payable 500,000. Okay, so next is capital. So go to capital. So here the balance is okay 500,000. Okay, so adjusted trial balance it's 500,000. Right. So go to sales now. Okay, so sales. So the balance of sales is 1.5 million. Okay, so go to sales 1.5 million. Okay, interest income. So should be the normal balance of interest income is still credit. So go to interest income. Okay, so for interest, so still zero here, no? Interest income. Okay, so zero. Okay, adjust your trial balance. So go to purchases. Okay, purchases. Okay, there you go. Purchases. The balance of purchases is 800,000. Okay, so an adjusted trial balance of 800,000. Okay, so okay, here in the trial balance 800,000. So you have here again rent expense. Okay, rent expense. Okay, so go to ledger, look for rent expense. Okay, so the balance of rent expense is 5,000. Okay, utilities expense. So utilities expense. Okay, so you have your balance of 4,000. Okay, and salaries expense. So you have a balance of 20,000. Okay, so so insurance expense. Go to your insurance expense. Okay, so zero. So also okay, you must input here zero. Interest expense here. Okay, look for interest expense. So zero. Okay, in the ledger in the trial balance it also be zero. Doubtful accounts expense. Okay, so in the ledger look for doubtful accounts expense. Okay, so the balance is 0. So adjusted trial balance 0. Depreciation expense, okay, is still 0. Okay, so you're done. Okay, to account all the accounts for the trial balance. So all you have to do is add all, okay, figures in the debit. Okay, so you have to sum it up. Okay, as well as, okay, in the credit column. Okay, so you have to add. So it must, okay, come up with a balance, okay, figure, no? So here, 2,908,000 for debit and 2,908,000 for, okay, credit, no? So if there's a variance here, it doesn't balance, so there's something wrong. Okay, so you need to go back, okay, again to your purchase book, sales book, and general, or sales book, okay, purchase book, cash receipt book, and, okay, cash disbursement book, and as well as check your ledger if you miss something. Okay, so that's the reason why you the trial balance is, okay, it's not yet, okay, balanced, no. Okay, so if you have already your unadjusted trial balance, okay, so check if there's some additional information at year end, no? So if there's need to record adjusting entry. So in this case, there are some, okay, transactions, okay, that happen at year end. Okay, so you need to, okay, adjust, okay, or you need to provide adjusting entries. Okay, so where you record this transaction, so you cannot directly identify which particular books, no? So it's not applicable in the cash receipt book. Okay, it's not also applicable in the cash disbursement book. It's not applicable in the purchase book as well as on the sales book. So there's one more book, okay, wherein you can record all these additional transactions at year end, no? So that's the general journal book, okay? So all transactions, okay, must be recorded in, okay, the general journal book pertaining to additional transactions at year end. Okay, so let's try to okay, record, okay, transactions in, okay, the general journal book. So the first transaction is you have accrued interest income of 1,700. Okay, so meaning, okay, there's already a revenue, okay, interest revenue that was earned, okay, on December, okay, or as of December, but, okay, it's not yet collected, no? Okay, so this interest not yet collected. Hence, we need to record a receivable of this interest. At the same time, we need to record now an income for this, okay, receivable. So in your general journal book, okay, so again, write the date, okay, of your transaction. So that's December 31. So book here 12/31. Okay. So again, like I said, if it's, okay, accrual of interest, so we have to debit now, okay, interest receivable. And so you need to record a receivable, okay? And then, okay, credit now, okay, interest income. Okay. So, okay, credit here, look for, okay, so type interest income. Okay, write the account, okay, number of the, okay, on title, right? So the amount is 1,700 is one, okay? So in the book, so type 17, okay, so what debit, interest receivable 1,700, and credit interest income 1,700. Okay, go now to the next transaction. Accrual of salaries expense 10,000. Okay, accrual of salary expense 10,000. So in a general journal book, okay, so again, write the date. So 12/31, okay. So since you here, there's already, okay, an incurrence of expense, okay, particularly salaries expense. Since there already incurrence of expense, okay, you need to record, and it's not yet paid as of December 31, you need to record now an expense, and at the same time, you need to record now a liability, okay, particularly salaries payable, okay, at December 31. So here you need to debit now an expense, okay, so salaries, expense, debit. Okay, so how much that? 10,000. Okay, so we got here 10,000. Okay, and you have to, okay, record the credit of salaries payable 10,000. Okay, so you can also copy, okay, the description here. Okay, so we forget to write the description. Okay, so here description accrued interest income of 1.7. Okay, here again description accrued salaries. Okay, next transaction accrued interest expense. So again, you already incur here an expense, no, at December 31. Okay, so particularly interest expense. So you already incurred an expense, but it's not yet paid, so you need to book a payable, okay, for this expense. Okay, so in your books, so you have 12/31, the date. Okay, so you have interest expense, okay, and you have to book interest payable, okay, for the liability. So how much is that? So 5,000. So you put here 5,000. Okay, so again, just copy the, okay, information accrual of interest expense. Okay. Next transaction, expired insurance, okay, for the year. Okay. So since you already have, okay, an insurance expense, okay, that was recorded, okay. So this is, okay, meaning you need to record now the incurrence of, okay, the insurance expense. Okay, so if you go back to your, okay, unadjusted trial balance, okay, adjusted trial balance, okay, so you have here prepaid insurance expense. Okay, so meaning from the date that you record your prepaid insurance expense, okay, there's already incurrence of insurance expense as of December 31, 2020. So if information says that, okay, there's already expiration or incurrence of 1,000 insurance expense. So you need to now record insurance expense for 1,000. So how do you going to record that? So again, write the date. Okay. So since there already incurrence of expense, okay, so you need to record now insurance expense debit, okay, of 1,000, and you credit, okay, prepaid insurance expense of 1,000. Okay, and okay, write the description. Okay, insurance expense 1,000. Okay, so next transaction, doubtful accounts expense. So meaning out of your receivables, there's an estimated amount which will be uncollected or could be doubtful. Okay, so you have here, okay, doubtful. Okay, so you have 12/31. Okay, so you have here doubtful accounts expense. Okay, and allowance. So debit doubtful accounts expense, and the credit is you need to record an allowance account, no? So allowance for doubtful accounts. So how much that? 5,000. So you need to record here 5,000. Okay. So again, just copy the information. Okay. Right. Next transaction. Okay. So we have here, okay, compute for the depreciation expense of the asset. Okay. Okay. So since we have a single asset, okay, in our book, which is the, okay, delivery equipment. Okay. So the delivery equipment was purchased on, so February 1. Okay, so for 2020, you purchased the delivery equipment on February 1. Okay, so to compute for, okay, annual depreciation, so again, the formula is, okay, acquisition cost, the salvage value over the useful life. Okay, so here is your acquisition cost. Okay, the amount of okay, delivery equipment that we purchased. Okay, so you can check it here. So this is your acquisition cost, purchase of delivery equipment amounting to 800,000 cash. Okay, so additional information. Okay, so acquisition cost, this is your estimated useful life. So this one, 5 years, and no salvage value. So to get the, okay, annual depreciation, so acquisition cost less zero, kasi walang salvage value. So 800,000 less zero over 5 years. So your annual depreciation expense is 160,000. But for year 2020, you have to, okay, pro rata allocate the depreciation expense because the 160,000 pertains to 1 year. Okay, but you only purchase, okay, the delivery equipment February 1. Okay, so you need to pro rata allocate, okay, the annual depreciation expense. Okay, that's good for 11 months only, no, from February 1 until December 31. So how are you going to allocate? So 160,000, okay, that's for 1 year. Okay, you divide by okay, so that is 160,000. You multiply by 11 months over 12 months. Okay, so you will get a depreciation expense for 2020, year 2020, it's 146,666.67. Okay, so how you're going to record that? So again, like the date. So you're going to record depreciation expense, okay, and credit accumulated, okay, depreciation, okay, accumulated depreciation. So the amount is 146,666.67. Okay, just again copy the description, right? Next, okay, you have an inventory, okay, inventory actually on hand, 10,000. Okay, so first you have to compute here, okay, the cost of sale, okay, for this transaction. So how are you going to compute the cost of sale? Right, so it says that, okay, you have a beginning inventory, okay, so where you get the beginning inventory, so here you have beginning inventory of 20,000. Okay, so beginning inventory 20,000, so your balance for the purchases, so look for the unadjusted trial balance, so purchases, so you have, okay, 800,000 in your purchases. To add purchases, 800,000, so you will get total goods available for sale, okay, 20,000 plus 800,000 purchases. So you got total goods available for sale of 820,000. Okay. So you will now, okay, deduct ending inventory. So here, according to this problem, so you have inventory actually in hand at year end. So that will be your ending inventory. So 10,000, no? So deduct ending inventory of 10,000. So you will get 810,000. So how are you going to record that? So it's 1231. Okay. So first you need to, okay, what account you're going to, okay, record. So first is you need to record the ending inventory, no? Okay, ending inventory. So this is ending inventory. Since we only have one account for inventory, so just debit inventory, no? But this pertains to ending inventory. So this is 10,000, no? Recording of ending inventory. And then credit again and beginning inventory because you're already closing the beginning inventory. So you credit this. This is your beginning inventory. Beginning inventory. So this is your amount, no, 20,000. Okay, since you need to close it now, right? So another entry, okay, is your purchases account. Okay, so purchases, since you already going to use that, okay, purchases account, so you need to credit now. Okay, so this is purchases account, so you need to credit now, okay, 800,000 purchases account. And then, okay, you need to record cost of sales. Since you don't have an account for cost of sale, you can also use the account of purchases. Okay, so this is cost of sales account. Okay, so use again purchases. So you book here 800,000. So it should be, okay, balance, no, 820,000. Okay, so just copy again, okay, the description. Okay, right. So we're done, okay, with recording of the additional entries. So the next step is to, right, book now again, okay, the additional, okay, transactions into your ledger. So go back now to your ledger, okay, to record, okay, the additional, okay, transactions that was recorded in your journal book, right? So first transaction, interest receivable. So go to your ledger, okay, look for interest receivable, okay, interest, there you go, interest receivable. So write the date, okay, December 31, okay, so write the description, code interest income, okay, so write the reference, so it is general journal book, and okay, so write the amount, so 1,700 debit, so in your ledger, debit of 1,700, right? And next, okay, is your interest income, okay? So you credit interest income here, so go now to your ledger, look for interest income. Okay. So interest income, okay, so write the date, 12/31, okay, write the description, okay, here, and write the, okay, reference, so general, so reference book of account is general journal book, and since you credit here 17 interest income, In the ledger, you also need to put it in the column credit or the credit column. Okay. Right. Next is salaries expense. So again, go to the ledger, look for salaries expense. Salaries expense. Okay. For salaries expense, write the date, July 25. Sorry, write the date, December 31. Okay. December 31. So debit 10,000. So here, okay, put here description, okay, and the salaries expense, and you have to record general journal book, okay, and then 10,000 salaries expense, okay. So right, and then credit salaries payable. So look for okay, salaries payable here. Okay, so go. So write the date. Okay, write the description. Write general journal book. So did we put here? So go back. Sorry, I'll just go back to salaries expense. Okay, so salaries payable. General journal book. Since in the ledger we recorded the okay 10,000, okay, credit for salaries payable. So here 10,000 credit salaries payable. Okay, go now to interest. Okay, recording of interest expense or approval of interest expense. So you have interest expense debit of 5,000. So go to ledger, look for interest expense. Okay, so you have here, okay, the date, okay, the description. Okay, so write again the reference, journal book, okay, debit 5,000. Okay, so let's go, debit 5,000. Okay, so again, credit interest payable. Okay, so go back to ledger interest payable, debit, okay, right? So write the description, okay, write the reference, your journal book, okay, and credit 5,000 interest payable, right? The next insurance expense. So go again to your insurance expense ledger. Okay, insurance expense. Wait, where's insurance expense? Okay, insurance expense. There you go. So again, write the date, so 31, the description. Okay, so there's reference book, journal book. Okay, and case debit 1,000 since you okay, debit 1,000. Okay, insurance expense. Next is prepaid insurance expense. Okay, so again, look for prepaid insurance expense here. Okay, so there's a transaction here, 1231, right? Okay, description. Okay, general journal book. Okay, and he said it here, credit prepaid insurance expense of 1,000. Okay, so here, credit 1,000. So the balance now of your prepaid insurance expense after this adjustment is only 4,000. Okay, go now to your okay doubtful accounts expense. Okay, so debit doubtful accounts expense 5,000. Go to the ledger, look for okay doubtful account expense. So there you go. This is your doubtful account expense. Okay, so the date, like the date. Okay, the description, the reference, journal book. Okay, so amount is 5,000. So debit doubtful accounts expense 5,000. Can credit allowance for doubtful accounts. Sorry. Go to your ledger. Okay. Look for allowance for doubtful accounts. Okay. Allowance for doubtful accounts. There's allowance for. Okay, there you go. So there's the date here. Description. Write the reference. Your journal book. Okay. So credit 5,000. Okay. So credit 5,000. Okay. Allowance for doubtful accounts. Okay. And next is to record the depreciation expense. Okay, so again, go to the ledger. Okay, write the depreciation expense. Okay, so write the date, okay, December 31. Okay, write the description. Okay, write the reference, general journal book. Okay, so look for, okay, how much is that? That's 146.66.67. Okay, so that is credit debit 146, okay, 666.67, right? For depreciation expense. For accumulated depreciation, okay. So again, right, go to your ledger, look for accumulated depreciation. Okay. So this is the date, the description, okay, right, the reference book, journal book, okay, credit, okay, accumulated depreciation of 1466, okay, 66.67. Okay. And then, okay, the inventory. So right again, okay, go to your inventory account. So where's the inventory account? Right, there you go. So on December 31, so transactions, description. So you write here general journal book. Okay, so there's a, okay, debit of 10,000 and there's a credit of 20,000. So your ledger, there's a entry here of 10,000. Okay, and there's okay, wait, okay, wait. So this should be, okay, it's not 20,000, okay, credit, right? So debit of 10,000 for your inventory, 10,000, and credit 20,000 for your inventory. So in your, okay, ledger. And then go to your purchases account. Okay, so let's go to your purchases. Okay, so December 31. Okay, there's a transaction here. So you credit 800,000. Okay, purchases. So in your ledger, there should be an 800,000 credit here. So 800,000 credit. And there should be, okay, 810,000 debit. So in your ledger, there should be 810,000, okay, debit. So right here, general journal book for the books of accounts. Okay. Right. So we're done with the, okay, adjusting entries. Okay. So if you don't mind, can we okay, post for a while? Oh, sorry, there's a question pala, no? Sir, where did those values come from last four entries of the general journal book? So, wait, general journal book, general journal book, wait, oh yeah, this one. This one, okay. So, don't mind this, no? This will pertain to the next steps, no? So because I just link it to another sheet, that's why it is seen here, no. So but it is related to the next steps in the accounting cycle. So don't mind this one. No? Okay, so later there will be another transaction that needs to be recorded here in a general journal book that pertains to this transaction. Okay, so if, all right, 10K, 20K, 800K, and 810K. Right. This one. Okay, where did it came from? Right. So this one, okay, this transaction, okay, was for this account, no? Okay, for December 31, actual inventory, okay, recognition, no, at year end, 10,000. Because like I've said, if you have inventory on hand, you need to remember we discussed merchandise, recording of merchandise inventory, no. So you need to record now, okay? You need to come up with your okay cost of sale, right? So here you have your beginning inventory of 20,000. Okay, remember the okay, beginning inventory, okay? So beginning of the year, you have beginning inventory of 20,000. Okay. So and then this inventory will be sold, no? Okay, on okay the year for the year. So as well as your purchases during the year, okay, the probability that it will be sold during the year. Okay, so 20,000 plus 800, this will be your total goods available for sale. So your 800,000, the ending inventory, okay, which was stated here, okay, actual inventory at year end, 10,000, okay, that will be your remaining inventory at year end. Okay, so to get your cost of sales, so total goods available for sale, less ending inventory 10,000, so you have cost of sales of 810,000. Okay, to record this one, okay, since you're going to use already the beginning inventory, so to record, to close that, since you're going to use that, okay, you need to credit now the beginning inventory. So, like I said, I label it here so you will not be confused, no? So here, the inventory account here pertains to beginning inventory. Okay, and then you have to recognize now the new inventory or the inventory on hand at year end. Okay, so you debit inventory, so this is your ending in the 10,000. And then, okay, since you're going to use already the purchases here, you're going to sold that, okay, that will already expire, no? That will already be consumed, okay? You will already use these purchases. So you need to close now these purchases. That's why you will credit now purchases of 800,000, okay? So it pertains to your purchases. Okay, so also you need to record the cost of sales. Since we don't have account for cost of sales, we also put or record that on the purchases account. So your cost of sales 810,000 will be debited to purchases. Okay, 810,000. But I label it here, no, on column G, so that you will not be confused. Where I get or I got the following okay transaction. Okay. All right. So can I pause for a while? So again, I need to take breakfast no, between kasi okay. So I'll pause for a while. I will show at around 9:30. So again, if you have other class, you can leave this conference, no. But if you can stay, no. So I'll continue my okay live discussion at exactly 9:30. Okay. So see you in a bit. Okay, so let's continue now the discussion. So after okay, posting the adjusting entries to your okay, or after recording the adjusting entries to the general journal book, we can now okay, and after okay, updating our ledger, okay, with adjusting entries. So we can now proceed to the preparation of adjusted general trial balance. Okay, so first we have to prepare a worksheet. So it would be easy for us to prepare an adjusted trial balance. So here, okay, in our worksheet, okay, so we need to okay, carry the data from unadjusted trial balance. So meaning, okay, a while ago, okay, so that's this. It, so a while ago, we created an adjusted trial balance. Okay, so now we're going to transform this into a worksheet. Okay, okay. Transform this into our worksheet. Okay, so here you go. So just carry or copy, okay, the balances from and the adjusted trial balance. Okay, so here, okay, so if you look at unadjusted, so just copy it into your worksheet, and then okay, try to record now adjusting entries. Okay, so write column for debit and write column, okay, or put a column for debit and put a column for credit for your adjusting entries. So where do we get, okay, entries or figures from this okay, adjusting entries? So you go to, okay, you go either you go to the ledger or you go to the, okay, general journal book. Okay, so that it would be easy, no? Okay, so right, that's here interest receivable of 1,700, okay, debit. So in your worksheet, so go to your interest receivable, so that is 1,700 debit. Okay, here interest income credit. Okay, so in your worksheet, so adjusting entries, so one interest income, okay, so there you go. So 1,700 credit. Okay, so it's up to you. Right, so next entry, salaries expense. Okay, debit 10,000. So in your worksheet, so go to salaries expense. Okay, so salaries expense. Okay, so salary expense debit. Okay, and then salaries payable credit. Okay, so go to salaries payable. So salaries payable credit of 10,000. Next, interest expense of 5,000. Okay, so go to your interest expense. Okay, 5,000. So from here, okay, so interest expense 5,000. Right, and then interest payable and also of 5,000. So in your worksheet, go to interest payable, so credit 5,000. Next is insurance expense 1,000. Okay, so insurance expense, okay, 1,000. Okay, so insurance or prepaid insurance expense credit 1,000. So in your worksheet, prepaid insurance expense, okay, credit 1,000. The doubtful accounts expense, debit 5,000. So doubtful accounts expense, okay, credit debit 5,000 and credit allowance for doubtful expense of 5,000. So go to allowance for doubtful accounts 5,000. Then depreciation expense 146,666. 0.67. So that's debit depreciation expense. Okay. So debit depreciation expense 146,666.67, and credit accumulated depreciation 146,666.67. Okay, so go to allow or accumulated depreciation credit 146,666.67. So you have inventory debit of 10,000. So your inventory debit of 10,000, and then okay, credit inventory of okay 20,000. So here wrong. So credit okay, inventory of 20,000. Go to your purchases, right? Purchases credit 800,000. So look for purchases credit. Okay, so it's wrong. Credit 800,000 purchases, and debit 810,000 purchases. Right? So okay, so it's done already. Okay, so you can now prepare your adjusted okay, trial balance. So all you have to do is from unadjusted. Okay, so you're going to add now debit plus. Okay, so debit plus debit here and less credit. Okay, so 614,000. Okay, since this is a normal balance, it's debit, no? So here, just again, okay, copy the formula. So debit plus debit less credit, since the normal balance of a cost receivable is debit. For allowance for doubtful accounts, the normal balance of this is credit. So we're going to prepare adjusted. So credit, unadjusted plus credit adjusting less debit. So normal balance is 5,000. Credit for allowance for doubtful accounts. Notes receivable, normal balance is debit. So debit plus debit here in adjusting entries, less credit here. So you got 25,000. Interest receivable, so the same normal balance is debit. So just okay. So 0 plus 17 less 0, okay, you got 1,700. For inventory, so beginning balance or an adjusted trial balance of 20,000 plus 10,000 debit less 20,000, so you got 10,000 adjusted okay, balance for inventory. Prepaid insurance, normal balance debit, so plus adjusting entry debit, which is 0, less adjusting entry credit 1,000. So adjusted trial balance now is 4,000. For delivery equipment, so 800,000 adjusted debit. Okay, since normal balance of delivery equipment is debit. Okay, so add okay adjusting entry debit, which is 0 here. Okay, and 0 also in the credit. So you just carry forward 800,000. Cumulative depreciation, adjusted the balance, the normal balance is credit. So you add, okay, adjusting entries credit, and you deduct adjusting entries debit. So your adjusted end balance for accumulated depreciation, okay, will have 146,666.67, which is a credit balance. Accounts payable, normal balance is credit. So you add again, okay, adjusting entries credit, and you deduct adjusting entries debit. So you have 408,000. Salaries payable, normal balance is credit since it's a liability. So add adjusting entries credit and deduct adjusting entries debit. So 10,000. Interest payable credit, it's normal balance. Okay. So add again adjusting entries credit and deduct adjusting entries debit 5,000. Loans payable. Okay, so you have beginning or okay an adjusted balance of 500,000 for loans payable. You add adjusting entries credit, you deduct adjusting entries debit. Okay, so it's your balance. Okay, for capital, beginning a normal balance is again credit. Okay, so add again credit, adjusting entries, deduct credit, debit, adjusting entries, so you got the balance. Okay, for sales, normal balance is credit, so you add adjusting entries credit, and you deduct adjusting entries debit. Interest income, normal balance is credit, so you add again adjusting entries credit, and you deduct adjusting entries debit. For expenses, okay, so purchases, normal balance is debit, so you add adjusting entries debit, and you deduct adjusting entries credit. So you have your adjusted balance for purchases. For rent expense, the same. Okay, the normal balance is debit, so your adjusted trial balance is also debit. Okay, utilities expense, normal balance is debit. Okay, so it's your adjusted trial balance. Salaries expense, normal balance is debit. So you add adjusting entries debit and deduct adjusting entries credit. So this is your adjusted balance for salaries expense. Okay. So for assurance, so there's no entry here in adjusted trial balance. So your okay adjusted balance here is from your adjusting entries of 1,000 for insurance expense, interest expense is 5,000, doubtful accounts is 5,000, and depreciation expense is 146,666.67. So to check your work, no, so the adjusting entries must also be in balance, no, okay, so that your adjusted trial balance must also in balance, okay. So that's how you're going to check your work if it's okay, you're on the right track. Okay. After you prepared your adjusted trial balance, okay, you can now prepare your financial statements. Okay. So for financial statements, okay, okay, you start preparing the income statement, no? So before okay, balance sheet. So always start okay preparing the income statement. So income statement, you write here the name of the company, the name of the report, okay, and the date, no? So for income statements, always be for a particular period. So for example, for the year ended, okay. So in this case, it's for the year ended December 31, 2020. Okay, so you have classifications such as revenue and expenses. For sales, okay, so go to your adjusted okay trial balance. You look for sales. Okay, so your sales, it's 1.5 million here. Okay, so your income, okay, put it here, 1.5 million, okay, in your income statement. So cost of sales, how are you going to prepare again the cost of sales? So you have here, again, beginning inventory. So 20,000, diba? I computed it already, this one. Beginning inventory, 20,000. Okay, and your purchases here, here 800,000. Okay, and you have your total goods available for sale 820. Okay, sorry, 820,000, and your ending inventory, okay, it's the 10,000. So your cost of sales, okay, is 810,000. So you just record here, okay, your cost of sales 810,000. So sales less okay, cost of sales. Okay, you got gross profit of 690,000. Then you add now your interest income. So here, okay, so interest income, adjusted trial balance, 1,700. Okay, so your total revenue, so 690 plus 1,700 is 691,700. Okay, so go to your general and administrative expenses. Okay, so try to get from your adjusted trial balance all the expenses. So you have rent expense of 5,000. So make a schedule here below 5,000. So utilities expense 4,000. So from the adjusted here 4,000. Okay, so salaries expense, so 30,000. So from the adjusted trial balance, so 30,000 salaries expense. Insurance expense, so 1,000. So from adjusted insurance expense of 1,000. Okay, interest expense of 5,000. Okay, so 5,000 interest expense. So doubtful accounts expense, okay, 5,000. Right? So doubtful account expense 5,000. So depreciation expense, okay, from the adjusted trial balance 146,666.67, so 146,666.67. So total expenses is 196,666.67. So you put it here in your income statement above. Okay, so 196,666.67. So total revenue less total expense, you have your net income of 495,033.33. Okay, so if you're done with your income statement, okay, you can now prepare your case statement of changes in capital. So the same, you put the name of the company, title of the report, and the date. So you have your beginning capital. Okay, so we get your beginning capital here. So beginning capital stated here, right? So beginning capital of 500,000. So 500,000. So your net income here will be coming from your income statement. So your income statement here is 495,033. So net income 495,033.33. Withdrawal 0. So your ending capital is 995,033.33. Okay. And then the next is preparation of balance sheet. Okay, so you can try to make it here. So, oh, sorry. Preparation of balance sheet. So change the, okay, right again, the name of the company. Okay, the name of the report. So you can put your statement of financial position. Okay. Okay, and the date. Okay, so if it's a balance sheet, it's accumulated balances. So normally the date stated here is as of December of 31 of a particular year or a particular date. Okay, so this is an account form balance sheet. So we're in the assets as in the left side and liabilities and capital on, okay, the right side. Okay, so assets, so there are two classifications, current and non-current. So from your unadjusted, okay, or from your adjusted trial balance, okay, try to get the balances of each of your, okay, accounts. So for cash, okay, 614,000. So that's under current asset. Okay, for accounts receivable, go to your worksheet. So accounts receivable, 615,000. So notes receivable, okay. So that is, sorry, that is okay. So for your accounts receivable, okay, accounts receivable is stated here net, no? So you have to put the schedule because to compute the net account receivable, so your accounts receivable, a balance of 615,000, you're going to, okay, since allowance for doubtful account is a contra asset, okay, a contra account for accounts receivable. Okay, so you're going to deduct 5,000 to the accounts receivable. So here you have accounts receivable of 615,000, and then you less or deduct allowance for doubtful account of 5,000. So you have accounts receivable, okay, net, okay, after deducting allowance for doubtful account 610,000. So here, okay, your accounts receivable is 610,000. Next, notes receivable. Okay, so you have here 25,000 notes receivable. So put it here in the balance sheet. Next is interest receivable. Okay, so 1,700 interest receivable. Next is inventory, so 10,000. Okay, inventory. Next is prepaid insurance, so write it here. Prepaid insurance 4,000. Okay. Next is delivery equipment of 800,000. So in your balance sheet, you also put okay, equipment at a net balance, no? So to show the schedule, okay, so your delivery equipment, okay, acquisition cost is 800,000 and you have your accumulated depreciation. So just like allowance for doubtful accounts, accumulated depreciation is a contra asset to your delivery equipment. So you have your delivery equipment of 800,000, so less your accumulated depreciation. So you have your delivery equipment here, okay, net, okay, of accumulated depreciation. Okay, so the amount is 653,333.33. Okay, so in your balance sheet above, so you just put it in the net, no? Since there's no more, okay, the next item is accounts payable, which is a liability. So you can now compute your total assets. So your total asset is total current plus total non-current. So you have your total asset at 1.9 million. So 1,918,033.33. Okay. So here on the right side, so you start with your okay, current liabilities. So accounts payable, okay, so here accounts payable 408,000. Next is salaries payable, okay, 10,000. Okay, next is interest payable, okay, 5,000. Then there's no more current liabilities, so you sum up your current liabilities. Next on the list is your loans payable, okay. So loans payable, okay, so it's 500,000, so you put it 500,000. So your total liabilities, just add current liabilities and non-current liabilities to have your total liabilities. Okay, and then you can now get your capital. So how are we going to get your capital? So remember, you already prepared a statement of capital, no? Changes in capital. So this ending balance will now be forwarded to your balance sheet. Okay, so 995,033.33. So just add liabilities, total liabilities plus total capital. So we'll have total liabilities and capital. So again, this is a balance sheet. So total assets should equal to your okay, total liabilities and capital. If there's a variance, meaning you have something okay, wrong that you have made in your previous okay, transaction. Okay, so after you okay prepare now your financial statements, the next step is the okay, preparation of closing entries. So closing entries again, these are entries that pertains only to your income statement account. Okay, so you need to close all your income statement accounts so that only balance sheet account will be forwarded or carry forward or carry over to the next okay, accounting year. Okay, so you need to close the income statement account to your capital account. Okay, so where are we going to okay post now the closing account? Okay, you can also post that in your general journal book. Okay, so go here, general journal book. Okay, so general journal book. First, that we're going to okay close. So here, write the date. Okay, December 31. Again, first entry that you're going to close is your revenue account. No, so your income statement. So go to your income statement. Okay, so here, okay, so you have two account, no, sales and interest income. So you need to close these two accounts. Okay. So how are you going to close that? So to close that, since their normal balance is credit, so what you're going to do is you're going to, okay, debit those accounts. So debit sales, okay, of how much is your sales in your income statement account. So let us forward it here. Right. So how much is the sales in your income statement? It's 1.5 million. So okay, debit 1.5 million sales. Next, okay, since you credited, okay, the normal balance of interest income is credit, so you need to close that, you need to debit your interest income. So debit interest income of 1,700. And then try to close it, okay, in account income summary. Okay, so you're going to use the account income summary. Okay, so here you state to close, okay, to close income, oh, sorry, to close a revenue account. Okay, so next you're going to close now the expense account. Okay, so the income statement, okay, so here you have several, okay, income statement or several expense account. So you have here purchases, okay, so you have purchases, okay, you have rent expense, utilities, salaries, insurance, interest, total account expense, and depreciation expense. Okay, so your purchases pertains now to your cost of sales. Now, this is the one that we're going to close, right? So so to close this one, okay, to close that account, wait, wait, wait. So to close this account, so you have here, okay, purchases account, okay, purchases account, right? So what will be the balance of your cost of sales? The cost of sales here is 800,000. So you type here 800,000. Okay. So your, okay, expenses must also be. So what are you crediting now? Your, okay, expenses. The normal balance of these accounts are debit. No. So to close this account, you must, okay, uh credit, or you must record it as a credit, no, to close the following, okay, expense accounts. So you have here, okay, so the first in the income statement, okay, so rent expense, so you're going to credit, okay, rent expense, okay, so that is 5,000. Next is utilities expense. Okay, so utilities expense. Okay, there we go, 4,000. Okay, salaries expense. Okay, salaries expense is 30,000. Okay, and insurance expense. Okay, 1,000. Okay, interest expense. Okay, how much your interest expense? It's 5,000 here. So 5,000 interest expense. Okay, so you have your doubtful accounts expense. Okay, so you have your doubtful accounts expense, and lastly, depreciation expense. Okay, so you have your depreciation expense. Okay, so again, where we get the balance of this account, you get that in your income statement account. right? And then, okay, again, since these are all credit, so you need to close that, you need to close that to income summary account. Okay, so credit or debit income summary account. So to label this, so to close, okay, to close for cost of sale and expenses account. Right? And lastly, okay, so you need to close now the income summary account to the capital account. Okay, so that will not be okay floating, no, the income summary account. So you now get okay the balance. So this is credit. Okay, so you have a outstanding income summary account. Okay, which is okay. So credit is 1 million, 1.5 million, and debit is 1.06. So the net, okay, the net income summary is credit 495,033. So what did you notice? It is the net income, no? Okay, yung difference of this two. Okay, it's the net income because you just merely reverse the income statement account, no? So the bottom line here, so the balance of the okay, income summary account, which is your net income for the year, will just be close to your capital. Okay, so to close that, okay, so since your credit okay balance of okay 495, so to close income summary account, you need to debit now okay income summary account so that it will be closed okay in your books. And then you debit now okay capital okay so because you want to close income summary and so that it will reflect okay the correct balance in your capital in the following year, no? So you have to credit now capital for the amount that you close, okay, to the income summary account. Okay, so after you post, okay, the closing entries, okay, so you can now prepare the post closing trial balance. Okay, so the post closing trial balance, okay, so just okay, um again, from your worksheet, okay, add another columns for your closing entries. Okay, so di ba, yung tayo tumigil kanina sa adjusted trial balance. So, to prepare your post-closing trial balance, just add another column, okay, from your okay, worksheet. So, closing entries, right, debit and credit. So, again, like I said, closing entries will only affect your income statement account. So, your, okay, balance sheet account, so from cash up to okay, the loans payable, there will be no effect. Okay, so whatever balance of your okay balance sheet accounts from your adjusted trial balance will still be okay the balance in the post closing trial balance. Okay, so only capital and okay income statement account will be affected. Okay, all right. So in this example, so based on our okay entries, so if we're going to so this book, okay, we need to also reflect this in our ledger, no? Okay, so the closing entry, so that your ledger will reflect okay properly. Okay, so before you prepare pala yung ano post closing trial balance, so you need to update first the ledger. Okay, so and the ledger, so again you have here sales, so go to okay sales okay account, so to close the revenue account, so general journal book, okay, so yeah debit here, okay, in the column debit for sales. So here at okay year end your sales will already be zero because you already closed, okay, the sales, right? So here interest income is also, okay, you have to debit interest income in the ledger. Okay, so interest income to close revenue. So general journal book. So 17. So your interest income is zero. So I did not prepare, okay, ledger for income summary account, no. But if okay, if you want to prepare, just it's okay, no. But for me, no need to prepare because the balance of income summary will always be zero, no? So I don't prepare a ledger account for income summary. So for purposes, okay, so go to, okay, the ledger of purposes, right? So to close, okay, so let us write the date, okay, the description and general journal book, the reference. So to close it, so the balance must be zero, no? Okay, after the closing entry. Okay, so next you have rent expense. So go to rent expense. Okay, so here to close your rent expense, again, general journal book, okay, and the record credit, okay, 5,000. So you have your rent expense of 5,000. Okay, next utilities expense, so credit of 4,000. So go to, okay, utilities expense in the ledger here. Okay, so close COS, so general journal book, okay, 4,000. So the balance of utilities is zero. Okay, go to salaries expense, 30,000. So here's the ledger, okay, for the salaries expense. So we close salaries expense. So this general journal book. So credit 30,000. Okay, salaries expense. So insurance expense. So go to okay, look for insurance expense. Okay, there we go. So we're also closing, okay, insurance expense. So okay, right here, general journal book. So credit, okay, insurance expense, right? And then interest expense, another credit of, okay, 5,000. So go to interest expense 5,000. Okay. So this is to close. Okay. So general journal book 5,000. So credit 5,000. Next is doubtful account expense. So go to your doubtful, okay, account expense. So here to close the account. Okay. So this is general journal book. So close it 5,000. So zero. Okay, will be the remaining balance of general, okay, doubtful accounts expense. Lastly, the depreciation expense. So go to ledger of depreciation expense, okay, and we try to close that. Okay, so that's right. The reference here, general journal book. So credit depreciation expense, so the balance is zero. So after you, okay, update the ledger, you can prepare now the post-closing, okay, trial balance. No? So in the post-closing trial balance, so like it said, it's the wrong entry here. Okay. It should be 800,000. Okay. So in the post-closing trial balance, okay, wait, there's a wrong entry here. Inventory, we should be, we should be 20,000. Okay. So again, in the post-closing trial balance, okay, uh, just prepare here, okay, entries. So go back to your general journal book, okay, to, okay, update the entries here, okay, in the closing entries column. So first transaction is your sales, so debit sales. So on your worksheet, so debit sales here of 1.5 million. Okay, so credit interest income of 1,000 or debit interest income of 1,700. So here in your worksheet, so debit interest income of 1,700. And then credit income summary account. Okay, right. So income summary account. So there you go. You can put here first. Okay, so you can put it first here. It's income summary account. So for the first entry, you can book. Okay, so 1501. Okay, 700. Okay, that's for your okay to close the revenue account. So let's go now to your okay cost of sale and expense account. So debit your credit purchases of 810,000. So you credit 810,000 here. So rent expense 5,000. Okay, so that's from here. Okay. Next is your utilities 4,000. So update utilities as well. Okay. And then salaries expense of 30,000. Okay. Then you have the insurance expense of 1,000. Then you have interest expense of 5,000. So you have doubtful account expense of 5,000. Then you have okay depreciation expense of 146,666.67. Then you debited the income summary for 1,666,667. So here, okay, you need to okay put the debit here, okay, for your income summary account. So you put it here 1,666.67. Okay, and then the last entry to close it to your capital. So you credit capital okay for 95. So in your worksheet, credit capital of 495,033.33, and then okay the debit income summary of 495. So in this column, okay, so you add 495,033.33. So okay, so just check if you have balanced the closing entries here and also balance your post-closing trial balance. Okay, so we're done with your post-closing trial balance. So uh, next on the step is this is an optional step, no? You can do this reversing entry or okay, you may leave it at that, no? So uh, it's up to you if you want to okay create a reversing entry. But just in case, okay, you want to simplify your accounting process the following year, you should okay, prepare the reversing entry. No? So reversing entry, you're just reversing entries that was or that were related to accruals and prepayments. No? If it's prepayments, you should prepayments that you apply for the method of expense method and for the okay unearned portion okay if you apply the liability method. But for discussion purposes, we have not discussed those method. No, so only accruals okay both income and expense are the ones should be reversed, no? So remember we in our okay adjusting entries, so we recorded the okay the following okay entries, no? So accrual of interest income, accrual of salaries expense, and accrual of interest expense. So here, okay, on okay January 1st of the following year, 2021, all you have to do is just reverse okay the following entries, no? So here you in December 31 you debit interest receivable and you credit interest income. So to reverse this on the following year, January 1st, all you have to do is just credit interest receivable and okay debit interest income. Same with salaries expense. Since in okay December 31,
So you debit 10,000 salaries expense and you credit salaries payable. Okay. So for reversing entry, you just reverse that particular adjusting entry. So you credit salaries expense and you debit salaries payable. And for interest expense, the same, no? Since you debit interest expense on December 31st and you credit interest payable on January 1 the following year, just reverse the transaction or the entry. So you credit now interest expense of 5,000 and you credit interest payable of 5,000. But again, this is optional, no, for accounting purposes. Okay, so I think I'm done with the accounting cycle, right? So any question so far with regards to the accounting cycle? So probably I'm going to post this one, no, to this accounting cycle for your reference, okay? And also I will post a blank, okay, worksheet, no, so that you can probably use this for your project, no. And also, for consultation purposes, no, starting, I think, starting Thursday. So I will open this conference in the evening. So from 10, probably 10, from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Those who want to consult, or those who want to there's some questions with regards to the project. So I'm open for question. No? So I please feel free to ask for clarification. So I will be every day, no, from starting on Thursday, which is what's the date on Thursday? So starting Thursday, April 24 until May 8. So I will just open the conference from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. So those who have clarifications with regards to the project. No? Okay. Any question, class? Okay, so uh, it's up to you. Okay, so you need to form five. You need to have 5 members in a group. So it's up to you. Okay, how you're going to form your group. No? So I will post. So later, okay, maybe tonight project, no, together with this worksheet, so you have a reference. Okay. So, any questions so far, class? Question? Those who are still here? Okay. Any clarification? So don't worry, it's almost the same, no? So discuss natin, uh, basically it's the same, okay? What you're going to do for the project. No? So if you have not, understand, and you're free to ask me, okay, question, okay? Right? Okay, so I'm seeing no questions. So uh, I'm going to terminate now this conference. Okay, so again, thank you for those who remain on this conference. So thank you for listening to our online discussion. All right. Okay. Bye. All right. Welcome. Bye.